What's going on, Bulls Nation? Everybody okay? Welcome into CHGO.
Why is he so happy?
Bulls Postgame.
Actually, I know why.
Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. My guy, Big Dave. Bow. BAWL Sports, the biggest Gafford fan amongst Bulls Nation. Pal producer on the controls, Joey Spathers is at Joey Spathers. Will the Goat Gottlieb will join us from the UC later on tonight's postgame show to help us break down this one. I feel like it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. Walked on court, got ass whooped, walked home.
Wow.
That's really what it is, man.
Oh, wow. Hey, Bulls fans. Everybody okay?
Yes.
Thanks for joining us after that ugly one. If you're hanging out on YouTube, go ahead, hit that like button. We appreciate it. So does our friend Troll Joe. Subscribe to CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Throw us your thoughts, your comments, your questions, concerns. After that one, we'll get to as much as we can in the comment section. Throw us a super chat if you're feeling so inclined.
Oh. Dare.
Yeah. Dare you.
Dare ya.
I dare you to watch that game again.
Huh?
Anyone want to do some film study on that game?
I think, no, you should burn this and throw this away and never, ever talk about it ever again. I think every team in NBA has one of these games. The key is to have them few and far between.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to be the Washington Wizards out here getting those kind of games. But, yeah, they had one. And, it was the first game that Luka's won here since 2018.
Yeah.
He still didn't get 30 against the Bulls. He hasn't dropped 30 in his past 3 games.
So his streak of 6 consecutive 30-point triple-doubles came to an end tonight.
Came to a screeching halt.
Cha-ching. Huge for me.
There's his joy.
But his streak of 6 straight triple-doubles did move
Continues on.
7 straight triple-doubles.
Show goes on. So, yeah, it was cooking. It's really nothing else to it. And they were really, truly destroying the Bulls on the interior.
My
That's
goodness.
really where it was, man.
Anthony saying Luka's just on another level right now. Chris saying I'm not okay, Peck. I want the right coach for this team. Well, don't hold your breath. But yeah, I feel like we can gush over how incredible Luka is, putting up a near 30-point triple-double in basically 3 quarters. But again, it was specifically that Luka pick and roll.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter if he was running it with Daniel Gafford, our dear old friend, or Derek Lively off the bench. Because do you know what Gafford and Lively combined for, Dave, tonight?
Please tell me.
42 points on 20 of 21 from the field. 40 Gafford and Lively combined for 42 on 20 of 21.
Bad.
that is
bad. Wow. They've really found something, man.
Man.
They've really found something. And it started to show, we talked about it on that Clippers game. It was when we started discussing, running that pick and roll that Harden was running with Zubac Shakur. And they were getting to the bucket and scoring at will.
Yeah.
They took that on steroids tonight, man. They was just pick, roll. And Gafford would set the pick and roll, and nobody would even touch him. He would just nestle into a nice little pocket underneath the basket. Looks, oh, there you go. And there was nothing but guards around him, man. Nothing but just the tiny people around him. He would just go up and score. And Bitim just doing the best he could. But you ain't going to stop that dude. Daniel Gafford, when he's going up. You know how I know? Because he ain't missed a shot in 4 games. That's how I know.
Daniel Gafford, after tonight, has now made 28 consecutive field goal attempts spanning 4 games. The streak lives on to the Mavs' next game, whatever they have on deck. And he is 7 shy. 7 made field goals on 7 made field goal attempts shy of tying Wilt Chamberlain's all-time record for consecutive field goals made.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. Seriously. He is balling.
Remember when we
out
had
of
that
control.
guy?
Yeah.
Remember when we had that guy?
A little bit.
That was fun.
A little bit. Remember that? A little bit. But he's gone. He's not here, and he's enjoying himself right now in Dallas, man. And I wish him nothing but more success.
Look, I mean, hopefully we'll hear from Will, who I'm sure he or one of his colleagues on the beat asked Billy about how they were just picked apart on the defensive end tonight. And look, y'all may know that sometimes we, stick up for Vooch more so than other Bulls fans, at least in years past. This season, it's been hard to stick up for him. It looked like he was maybe going to have himself another nice shooting night because he knocked down a 3 early. Ended up being the only one he knocked down. He finished 1 of 4 from 3-point range, 6 of 13 overall from the field. A quiet night for Vooch, just 13 points, 6 boards. And then on the defensive end, of course, it's like, look, it seems like the Bulls, and they got exploited by it on that West Coast road trip. They got annihilated on it by the Mavs tonight. It's like that they can't choose whether it's Billy or Vooch or collectively playing a more aggressive, blitzing scheme when it comes to these pick and roll situations with Vooch, sending him up to the guard or having him drop. Yeah. And it seemed like so many times in this recent stretch of games, and tonight, oh dear God, Vooch is just caught in no man's land.
Yeah, man.
It's like he's not playing drop, he's not playing blitz, he's caught somewhere in the middle. And what do you do? It's a pick and choose as far as what you want to try to take away. Obviously, going under screens on Luka is a very risky game unto itself. The Mavs as a team did not shoot, superb from the 3-point line tonight.
Right.
Just barely over 30%, 13 of 41. Destroy the Bulls inside.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroy the Bulls inside.
Yeah, absolutely killed them, man. And you're right. Like when Vooch, that screen is set on him, he doesn't commit either way. And when you don't commit either way, you're going to get burned, period. That's the guarantee. So you have to decide which one you don't want to get cooked by. You can't, because you can't guard both. Like it's impossible. So watching him just continue to drop back, like it just stay 50% up and 50% back.
It's infuriating.
It's 100% buckets every single time, man. He can't do that. You can't keep doing that. You have to just simply make your decision. And I understand, like some of those decisions he just made, and they were finding the ball inside, and those guys around here were not playing defense, and they were not at least bothering Gafford or getting in front of the ball or acting like they wanted to be down there, even participating in the basketball game. Yes, that is correct. That's not on you, Vooch, but that's what it should be. We would like to remove you from the equation of people we're like, oh man, you can't do that or you can't do that. No, when a guy sets up and you play up because you don't want Luka Doncic to give up to be the one who's scoring, that completely makes sense.
Right.
But when you're like, I'm gonna go halfway and you're giving him an opportunity to not only get a look at a shot, but get a look at a pass.
Right.
This.
Well, and Mike Alley-oop in the comments saying the pick and roll is one thing, but talk about how he never gets on his big man, leaving the Bulls in a bad mismatch chronically. It's a lack of coaching accountability. Okay, so it's not like Vooch is a great rim protector who could just play, flawless drop coverage all the time,
right?
The way that some big men in the NBA do currently.
Sure.
I think it was a striking difference in the type of big men that these two rosters have tonight.
True.
It's not like Andre Drummond is super fleet of foot either. And the Bulls really don't have any great options as far as playing like small ball fives who they can get away with giving up some muscle while also having some size to play a small ball five. And the Mavs just have athletic bigs everywhere.
Correct.
It's a bad matchup. I do not think that you can absolve Billy Donovan of the way that the Bulls pick and roll defense has looked, but I also don't think it's Billy Donovan's fault that he has the pieces he has. The Bulls do not have a great complement of athletic bigs that you need to play a variety of like reliable defenses and different defensive schemes in today's NBA. What do you want him to do? Please tell me what you think Billy Donovan should do with the bigs he has available when it comes to trying to slow down Luka and that Mavs offense tonight. Because, look, we can all agree that Vooch is not a great defensive player.
No.
I think at this point in his career, you could say he's not even a good defensive player.
Yeah.
He got caught in no man's land a million times. Maybe Billy should be trying to find a different way to play him without being so aggressively exposed like that in pick and roll defensive situations. Mm-hmm. But what do you want Billy to do? Who you want him to play? What do you want him to play?
I think that's the key. Also, what you said in the pregame is that Patrick Williams is not out there. And you really felt that tonight. Him not being out there and being available on the defensive side of the ball, because he makes up for a lot of those things on a lot of those coverages that a lot of those guys inside I talked about who don't want to go down there and touch up Daniel Gafford. That's a Patrick Williams thing. Or even staying up on Luka. So they have to bring the pick to you. That's his thing. You know, he would be the one guarding Luka. So not having him out there definitely hurts things for sure, man. But yeah, I feel what you're saying, Matt. Like you're devoid of certain players and certain skill sets because of the roster that you have. I don't disagree with that at all. Sometimes it's not 100% for me either way. I think that's why I feel. Like I can look at that roster and say, yeah, I see why that shit didn't work. But I can also look at Billy and say, hold on, why didn't you even try that? You know what I mean? Like I can kind of see both sides of that equation, and I don't want it to be one way because it feels like fans are just really one way. You know what I mean? I shouldn't just call y'all fans, we're fans, but it feels like people are just really one way on Billy Donovan, and I don't think it's just one right thing. And also, I don't think it's one way on the other side where it's just completely your roster isn't constructed correctly. Both are right.
Yeah,
I think both you have points and are valid in this, and something has to be changed, especially in this offseason, if he's going to continue to be here, and this is what we're going to continue to do.
Godwin Shown Can in the comments saying Billy stayed way too long with Vooch killing the game. I do think, and you and I have both agreed with that point multiple times throughout the season, is sometimes it seems like Vooch needs to get off the floor and Billy's just riding him too many minutes when he is getting exposed in a bad mismatch. And that was, again, the case tonight. But, part of it is because Billy did, thankfully wave the white flag in the fourth quarter. Vooch ended up only playing 26 minutes tonight to Andre Drummond's 16. But again, I don't necessarily think that you're getting a much different outcome if you're talking about flipping the script on minutes Vooch gets versus minutes Drummond gets. Yeah. And the way that the Bulls defense was exposed by the Mavs tonight. D. Lasso in the comments mentioning, hey, maybe try the two big man lineup tonight. Drummond and Vooch both out there, so you have more protection around the rim when one of your bigs is out, trying to slow down that pick and roll from the jump at the perimeter. It is true that we did not see that look tonight.
We did not.
I don't know if that would have made a different outcome than the one we saw.
I don't know if it would have either, but I'm eager to ask Will about it because I'm sure he's got a thought or two about it. But I also think, Matt, the other thing that was really not good was the Bulls on the offensive side of the ball turning it over. Like the turnovers became, like in that second quarter, especially in that second, it became just a constant thing.
Right.
They just kept turning it over. And when it continues to be like that, then that defensive strategy that you're supposed to be playing becomes harder for you to play. Like a lot of those guys just kind of be like tuned out or fizzled out, especially coming in off that West Coast trip, because I think that has something to do with it too. But I'm probably giving like a small percentage of it, but I think it has something to do with it too. But man, the turnovers were just truly, truly bad, man. Like it was upsetting sitting there watching how easy it was for them to get the ball from them, and then they were just down the floor.
Yeah, unforced turnovers. Like, okay, credit somewhat to the Mavs defense, who this Mavs team has not been known for its defense in the Luka Doncic era.
No, it is not.
But when they decide that they want to create some turnovers, they can, and we saw that. They were just getting their hands in some passing lanes. The Bulls had some failed entry passes tonight. Gee, raise your hand if you've seen that one before. But yeah, it was a frustrating night to watch. Not just, like 13 turnovers is not a terrible number, but when you combine it with the fact the Bulls failed to shoot 40% from the field.
That part too. Yes. Oh my God. The 3-point shooting. Oh my God. What did you tell me at one point it was? Like 2 for 19?
At one point, they were 2 of 19 at one point, I think. I think maybe they were 3 of 20 at halftime or something like it. They finished 7 of 34. So they did end up knocking down a few more to make it a respectable 20.6% from the 3-point line. And again, it's not like, the Mavs didn't shoot the lights out. The Mavs only beat the Bulls by 18 behind the 3-point line tonight. That was only half of their margin of victory.
Hooray. 1 of 6. 1 of 6. 1 of 6. 3 of your players.
Kobe, Caruso, Bitim. Ayo was 1 of 5. Vooch, 1 of 4.
Jeez.
Dalen, 0 of 2. It didn't matter. That was in garbage time.
Correct.
You know who knocked down his shots tonight?
Tell him.
Because it was Julian freaking Phillips. My sweet special boy.
He played solid tonight.
Real quick on the box score note, C-Red UK pointed out Torrey Craig with the Tony Snell tonight.
Ooh.
Zeros all across the board.
In 17 minutes, Torrey Craig 0 of 1 and zeros across the board. He did have one turnover.
One turnover and two
fouls.
So
not quite. Not quite still. You know what I mean?
Zero's
got to be across the bizzle.
That is impressive. And a minus 21 in his 17 minutes played while doing statistically nothing.
That's crazy, man. But that's a bad night. He was completely off. You can see from his shot, he was not on. He's not in a position to be able to chase Luka around screens yet.
Yeah.
He's still coming back, getting his knee together and everything. So he's still struggling with that a little bit. But, man, there was nobody there to pick him up.
Yeah.
Kobe was really non-existent tonight, man. That's why I really think that it's that fatigue, especially with Kobe, because we just want that young man to get some sleep sometime soon, man. But, my goodness, man, you can't come out there and put it out like this. It felt like as soon as it started going bad, they were like, forget it. Like, it's done. You know what I mean? We understand what's going on. We can't hit threes now either. Like, nothing's going right. DeMar tried to do what DeMar does. Fine, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Let me get some and ones. Let me get to the line. Let me do something. And then once they took that little blow and then kept it moving,
it was like
it was done.
I feel like DeMar checked out after the first quarter, which was 44-16, by the way. DeMar only took 9 shots tonight. And again, coming off of winning Eastern Conference Player of the Week, very well earned. The Bulls went 3-1 on that West Coast trip. DeMar was heroic in 3 different games, 2 monster fourth quarters. And tonight he was just like, oh, okay. Do I have to? No? Cool. I'm not. And I do not fault DeMar DeRozan 1 iota for that. Like, I don't.
Choose your battles. That's all he said. Choose your battles.
Chris Davis in the comments asking, Matthew Peck, can you please tell me who said it was okay to get a guard-heavy roster, talking about how the Bulls' bigs got worked by the Mavs' bigs tonight. Is the point you're making that Billy Donovan endorsed the front office leaning to a guard-heavy roster? Because Billy Donovan has tended to have a lot of guard-heavy rosters in his track record of NBA head coaching. I suppose that's maybe a point you were trying to make there. Do I think that Billy Donovan had final say or even a heavier than the 50-50 split sway of the roster construction this past offseason, 2 off seasons ago, when the Bulls flamed out in the first round against the Bucks, and clearly the flaw of this roster, the biggest flaw was, hey, we need some 3-point shooting. Look, is size an issue with this roster right now? Yeah. Didn't help that you were missing Patrick Williams for a good stretch and now for the rest of the season. Didn't help that you missed Torrey Craig for a stretch. If you're implying that it's Billy Donovan's fault that this roster is poorly assembled, I think that is an interesting take.
That's interesting you said, the interesting take. That is not where I thought you were going at all, honestly.
If you didn't get the subtext, by interesting I meant incorrect. I think that's an interesting take.
He thinks it's an interesting take? I feel like that's a wonderful thing. But dude, no, it's
we hear all about how Billy blame. And AK and Eversley have this wonderful relationship. They bounce ideas off each other, and everybody's on the same page. Cool. That's what every front office and coaching staff says publicly all the time.
Yes,
publicly all the time. Do I think Billy Donovan could coach this team better than he is, or do I think someone else could get a little bit more out of this team than what Billy Donovan is getting out of this team? Yes, I do. Yeah. I have never been an advocate for Billy Donovan being a great, top 10 NBA head coach. I've never said that. The only thing I've pushed back on at any point is when Bulls fans blame Billy for shit that I don't think is his fault.
Sure. Agreed.
Roster construction? Really? The Bulls shooting 20% from three? Really? Now, if you want to ping Billy for this recurring pattern of the Bulls getting eaten up in these pick-and-roll situations over the last, handful of games, yes, absolutely some of that fault lies at Billy. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. But putting what you have together and putting what you have on the floor and not making moves in the offseason and not making moves at the trade deadline, you can't put that on Billy. Like, that's when you know what you needed. You looked at what you needed. You came and told us what this team needed and didn't get what this team needed. You know what I mean? That's hard for me to fault the coach for those kind of things. So, again, guys, everybody gets a piece of the blame pie. That's how it goes out here, man. If you want to argue over who gets a bigger portion or not, be my guest. That's fine. But I don't give a damn who gets a bigger portion because this shit tastes like ass. And I'm tired of eating this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point. That's the point I'm making here, dog. Like, I don't care who gets a bigger piece.
D-Law in the comments saying, but AK and Reinsdorf probably think this team is fine. And that is the point. And it's not just D-Law saying probably. We know for a fact because we heard it from AK's mouth at the trade deadline.
Mouth and actions.
He thinks it's great. We're competitive. Why is everyone complaining? Why is the Bulls beat jumping down my back right now for not making any trades? Look, we're competitive. We're right there in the mix. Look at the Eastern Conference standings. We're only 3 games back of the 6th seed. He was wrong. They were 5 back. And I think they're now beyond that. But that when someone, in the comments was saying, hey, can Billy go to the front office and say, can you get me some better pieces to work with? Can you build me a roster that makes more sense than this roster?
Yeah.
They haven't changed this roster basically in 3 years.
Ooh, that's true.
Despite the middling, at best, results.
That's very, very true.
You think Billy has the kind of authority or power to put his foot down and say, this isn't good enough, get me a better roster to work with? Because I'm sorry, Bulls fans, the answer is a flat-out no. He's going to work with what he is given, which is what ownership will give the front office, which is working the margins with a probably very similar roster next season, staying under the luxury tax.
He's right. You know why? Because this is what you've seen. So it's hard to go against what you've seen. I would love for this to be something different in the offseason. Get to the offseason, make some other moves, bring in some other people, you know what I mean? Reset a little bit on this team, man. You got a draft pick coming up, for God's sakes. You have time to do something. But I can understand why you're like, no, this is going to be the same shit. Like, it's going to be the same thing over and over again, man. This is a big offseason. I've said this earlier, man, but it really, really is, dog. Like, this is a really big offseason, man, for this team. Like, are you for real? Can you really sit here and sell this team on what we've seen again? Like, can you sell this fan? Like, again? Can you sell this out here? I don't know, man.
Mike Alley-oop in the comments saying, yes, Billy absolutely can do that. You don't know what say he has. I do. You want to know how I know what say Billy has? Because I've been a Bulls fan my entire life. 30-plus years of watching how this organization operates.
Woo!
Do they give their head coaches all that kind of say and sway on the bigger decisions of how they construct their roster and run their, how they run their books, how they construct their rosters, who's getting what money, players-wise? No. What is the one thing that this Bulls ownership group has always proven time and again? What will they let coaches do? Take the fall. When things aren't going great and they're not ready to fire their front office yet, they let the coach take the fall. That is the sway. That is the power that Bulls head coaches have had for the last 3 decades. Why would you expect it to be any different?
Caruso I'm still tripping on this 1 of 6. Because it was all his field goals. Like, he didn't shoot anything but threes. Like, he went complete 1 of 6, all threes. Like, he's like, this is what we're going to get tonight. But Kobe White being 4-14 was tough. I understand the bad 3-point shooting, but the 4-14 was tough. Billy, please take him out the game in the fourth.
I mean,
why is he in the game?
He didn't play a lot of the fourth, but the fact that he was out there to begin the fourth at all, outrageous.
Take him out the game, bro. Like, if anybody is begging to get some rest, it's him. I don't even like the fact anybody played close to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Why is Io playing 29 minutes in this game? Like, seriously, man. Like, Oh gosh, I don't like those kind of things. Like in a game that is clearly a blowout and clearly over, get these guys some rest. They clearly are tired, bro.
I mean, hey, Kobe played 27. That is glorious.
That is glorious.
That is basically like having a night off for Kobe White.
No, you ain't lying.
That is 13 minutes fewer than he has been averaging, basically, for most of this season. We have to take our first break, but just real quick, wanted to mention this last one. Bull Don't Lie is saying, Tibbs got a little upset and was out the door faster than Prime D-Rose on the fast break. Speaking of how the Bulls treat their coach. Yeah. You know how Tom Thibodeau said, don't you dare trade Luol Deng. Do not trade Luol Deng. I need Luol Deng. And then what did Bulls ownership and front office do? They traded Luol Deng. But yeah, Bulls head coaches totally have say in roster construction.
What was that? Oh, okay.
Open your eyes. Read a history book. All right, let's take our first break. We'll come back. More thoughts on tonight's game. We'll hear from Will the GOAT. I'm very curious to hear what Billy Donovan had to say after this game tonight.
I'm hoping he's saying he's just tossing this away.
Yeah.
In the trash.
I can't wait to rewatch this one. Are you kidding me?
Deep. That's because of your gambling.
Yeah. Because of the dramatic finish of Luka not surpassing 53 and a half.
He was so, oh my God.
0.5.
It was so entertaining. It was so entertaining. He was so happy.
Make sure you subscribe to CHGO Sports if you aren't already. Hit that like button. Dave!
Top of the morning to ya! What's up, man? Yo, Neil was like, man, please stop butchering my
I saw that Neil called you out.
And I was like,
nah. He had to for his people.
Yeah, and I told him, nah.
I'm not going to stop.
Nah. I gotta keep destroying it because you're my guy. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. But this episode is brought to you by the St. Patrick's Day Shamrock Shavers, a.k.a. Manscaped.
Hey.
This year, don't chase the rainbows. Make your own pot of gold and groom your little leprechaun with his leaders in below the cute care, man. Say goodbye to your Clover Forest in the Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 and let your confidence shine bright. Embrace the look of the Irish. That's how Irish people sound. Shout out, Neil.
Shout out to the incredible Disney Channel original movie by the same name.
Oh, yes. And join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Just head over to manscaped.com. Use the code BULLS for 20% off plus free shipping. Now, you already know we talk about Manscaped all the time, how much we like it, how much we enjoy it, how much we still use it. I just saw one of their new commercials on TV, and I laughed my ass off when I realized what I was looking at. It is so fun. I was like, wait, what did they do? Oh, that is funny. That is funny. Keep your little guys okay, all right. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Manscaped. You guys are smart, man, but it's necessary, man. I enjoy the fact that men grooming themselves and taking care of themselves is a thing. It is a thing, and it should always be a thing. Take care of yourself, man. Keep yourself right, keep yourself tight, and keep yourself trimmed. And you can do all that with Manscaped. And also, like I stated, get 20% off and free shipping with that code. I told you, BULLS at manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping with the code BULLS at manscaped.com. This St. Patrick's Day, make sure your little heady leprechaun is luckier than ever with Manscaped. Taste the rainbow.
I never want this ad to end. I hope we have a Manscaped ad read for every show for the rest of time. Just to not see the accent evolve in any way, but to see it stay exactly where it is right now.
That's right.
In this amorphous blob of 6 different accents.
Jamaican, y'all getting it. Jamaican and Irish. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Jam-Irish. That's what they is, man.
Oh, man. You know what goes great with listening to Dave's Jam-Irish accent is having myself a little chill moment sipping on my ice-cold, refreshing Coors Light.
Ooh, nothing like it.
Oh, my goodness. Whether it's your team stressing you out, your team getting blown out by 35, or just life in general, things can feel chaotic. That's why Coors Light helps you find moments to chill all year long. I am so excited for summer. It's getting close.
Burks out.
Burks are out today. Mm-hmm. There is nothing better than an ice cold Coors Light on a hot Chicago summer day.
Fair.
Maybe you're out at a patio somewhere. Maybe you're at a friend's backyard. Maybe you're at a rooftop. Maybe you're at the beach. Ugh. Blue, cold as the Rockies, Coors Lights. It makes it.
Makes it better.
It really does. Wherever and whenever you need to have yourself that chill moment, Coors Light is there for you. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When it's time to chill, open a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. When it's time to chill, Coors Light, the beer I reach for. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. That's right. With Instacart. Go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. That's CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Go, Joe.
That's where he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Joining us now on the Go Talk hotline, it's our guy, Will the Go Gottlieb, live from the UC. Follow him for his Bulls reporting and updates, Will_Gottlieb. Will, what did Billy... Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
Will.
Everyone okay at the United Center? No casualties after that one?
There was a giant brawl going on in the concourse, but other than that, I think there were no casualties, so that's always good news. But what was not good news was the outcome of that basketball game, because the Mavs just absolutely destroyed. And I will say, like, I watch Luka a decent amount. Like, he's one of the more exciting players to watch on TV. It is a different experience watching him in person. Like, some of the passes, it's just like, how does he even see where that guy's going to be? And just some of the angles and throwing passes over his head and looking guys off. I mean, it was just incredible. So it was very cool to see him in person. And yeah, I mean, the big story for me was just the way that he was able to find Gafford and Lively underneath the basket all night long for easy dunks and layups. And there was just nothing the Bulls could do. I mean, even when they were defending it well, and that was not happening for the entire game, you know, your point of attack defender is supposed to get over the screen. You're getting your center up there to the point of the screen to try to cut off dribble penetration. And then you've got to pull in from the low side to zone up on the back end. And even when they did all that correctly, it was just those guys are too tall, too athletic, and they were just running, jumping, and dunking over everyone. So there was just really not an answer for defending them. And then on the other end, like, the Bulls just couldn't score tonight. 38.9% from the field, 20% on threes. So just tough to win when basically everything is going wrong for you.
Do you think now teams are really kind of figuring out how to attack the Bulls, definitely on the interior, because this is kind of the second game in a row we've seen that pick and roll just absolutely destroy Vooch, and them get easy buckets. Like Matt said, like Lively and Gafford combined were what, 20 or 21?
20 of 21.
Scoring. Like, that's insane. So is this something that is now bulletin board material for these teams?
You know, I think it is becoming a little bit of a problem, although last game against the Clippers, it was a little bit different. What was happening in that game was more drop coverage. So Vooch was kind of falling back and letting, trying to keep the ball handler in front of them, trying to give up the mid-range shots. But what would happen is then if the roller rolls hard, if Vooch is staying with him, he's not going to be able to get up and contest that lob. So it was more lobs playing in kind of a drop coverage against the Clippers, whereas this time they were trying to get up to the level of the screen. They were blitzing, they were trapping, trying to get the ball out of Luka's hands. But I think in a lot of ways, like, it was the backside help from the wings and the low man who weren't really able to tag the roller and get in time to contest some of those shots. And it's a tough job. Like, if you're Ayo Dosunmu or DeMar DeRozan and you're 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", coming in as a low man, and now you've got to come in and try to contest a lob to 7-foot Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford, like, it's just a tough job to do. And so everybody's got to be perfect in these schemes, and they just weren't tonight. So I think that the Bulls are, they try to make themselves not schemable in that way by getting Vooch up to the level and trying to pull in from that weak side. But if everything just is not really crisp, and Billy kind of said today that they were a little bit too worried about the ball getting swung to the opposite corner for threes, that they weren't really pulling in as much as they needed to. I just think that can be a challenge, and that's the difficulty of guarding some of these spread pick and roll teams, or these teams with really athletic rim rollers like Gafford and Lively. It's just tough to decide what can you take away, and then all of a sudden you're not taking away anything.
Will, the Bulls went 3-1 impressively and surprisingly on that West Coast trip, in large part due to DeMar DeRozan turning back the clock to some heroic DeMar shit, and Kobe White, in particular, that incredible career-high 37 in the comeback against Sacramento. Also had some big moments in their other 2 wins out west. They were both quiet tonight. Kobe, I think, finished 4 of 14 for 13 points. Or no, 12. DeMar finished for 13 on just 9 shots. Curious if you got to speak to either or both of DeMar and or Kobe in the locker room after this one and what they may have had to say on what the hell went wrong tonight.
Yeah, we talked to DeMar, and he was just crediting Luka's greatness. I mean, he was talking about how dangerous he is as a decision maker and a passer, on top of obviously the ability to step back and hit threes, or just like be such a huge bulldozer who really can't be sped up at all getting to the rim and posting guys up. So there's just not a lot of ways you can try to turn them off offensively. And I think, on the other end, like, you're going to have off nights. I think the shooting was a bit of a problem. Obviously, the one kind of semi-positive coming out of this is DeMar played 22 minutes, Kobe played 27 minutes, Io played 29 minutes, Caruso played 21. So they get a little bit of rest, and I think that obviously affects the numbers. But midway through the third quarter into the fourth quarter, these guys just aren't really hitting shots. They don't really give themselves a chance to get back into the game. It was kind of done. And I think for the most part over the last couple of weeks, they've been a really resilient bunch where they haven't really given up or let themselves get fully out of games, even when they're down 26 to the Timberwolves or whatever it may be. And this just was one of those games where it just was totally out of reach, and they never really got to a point where they could make a push. And so it's just it's almost like a wash, I think, to them. Obviously they don't like losing, and they're not happy about it, but it's like this one just really got away from them. And DeMar said they were kind of due for an ass kicking, and hopefully it was the last one of the season.
Yeah, for real. Will, a question came up in the comments earlier when we were talking and discussing, how the Mavericks were attacking the Bulls and attacking Vooch. And Matt was asking, what could they do? What things do you guys think they could do? One thing that came up was playing the 2 bigs, playing Drummond and playing Vooch in that situation. And I said, well, you know what? I'll leave that question for Will to go Gottlieb to kind of explain to you all that feeling. So, because you explained that feeling of playing both of those guys when you're doing that pick and roll or that drop that they were doing in Dallas.
Yeah, I think against a team like the Mavericks, who basically play 3 shooters and a rim roller around Luka, it is impossible to play 2 bigs. You're going to get just absolutely wrecked in one form or another, because what will happen is they will just pick on you in pick and roll. They'll say, all right, Drummond or Vooch, come up to the screen. We're going to get you switched on to Luka, and then he's going to cook you. And he'll either take you to the rim, draw 2, and kick it out to an open rim roller or 3-point shooter, but you just don't have the athleticism, the versatility, the switchability. And like those guys, Drummond and Vooch are, they do their job well, but they aren't really getting reps as somebody who's like scrambling out to rotations, getting out to 3-point shooters, and then recovering and getting out to the next guy on the opposite side. So you put them in a situation now where they have to do that, and it's just a recipe for disaster. I think this matchup is really difficult. I think, if anything, it kind of speaks to the fact that the Bulls need a option where they can switch the 5 onto the ball handler, and they really don't have that. I mean, at times they've done it with Drummond, switching him onto guards, but this is an example of a team where you want to be able to switch everything and just make Luka beat you scoring the ball, because when he gets, he's going to get his, but when he also gets everybody else involved, where you're giving up 40 points at the rim to Lively and Gafford, they didn't even shoot the ball particularly well from outside. So this actually could have been worse if they had shot 40% on threes. This could have been even more dangerous. And I think that's exactly what would have happened had they tried to play 2 big. So if anything, to me, this is a roster issue where you need to address maybe this offseason about getting guys that can be more switchable. And obviously Patrick Williams could potentially help you there. Torrey Craig does not seem fully back. Although he played 17 minutes tonight, he could potentially help you there. But I just don't think the Bulls are very well equipped to defend a team like this. And I think, whether it was trapping or showing or pulling in from the weak side or staying home on the corners, like they were trying to do stuff. It was a little bit more subtle than those kind of rotational changes. But it's just a tough matchup for a team like this when your centers aren't particularly mobile.
Last one, Will, and then we'll let you get out of here. I think if Bulls fans who are looking for silver linings down the stretch this season, could find one tonight, it was that it may have been partly in garbage time, but we saw some really positive things from Julian Phillips and Onuralp Bitim, two guys who I think Bulls fans are hoping to see more minutes from in this final month or so of the season. Anything in particular that stood out to you from either of them tonight? Because they both flashed some solid things.
Yeah, I thought they were both pretty good. Billy was asked post-game about playing Julian Phillips a little bit more, and he kind of pushed back on that and said that he has been in the rotation, and obviously his minutes are going to fluctuate depending on the matchups, but he trusts him and he wants to get him out there. The problem is, like, you've got a guy like Torrey Craig, who you brought in as a free agent, who has multiple years of experience defending at the highest level. And he understands through personal experience what it takes to defend against Luka on the perimeter in those pick and roll situations, or how to switch onto Kyrie when those matchups come up. So I think the experience factor is a big one here. And as good as Phillips and Bitim have been in terms of, making plays, like they're kind of doing it as role players, right? Like they're doing it through energy and effort and hitting open shots. And the Bulls need that, but they also really need, as we just talked about, guys who can really execute defensive schemes to a T. And I think they will get there, but they're rookies. I mean, it's going to take some time. And I think it's important not to conflate, like, getting out in transition for a dunk or hitting an open three with really being able to execute at a high level throughout the course of a game. Those are just kind of two different things at this point.
Bulls fans, be sure to follow our guy, Will _Gottlieb on Twitter for all of his Bulls reporting. Read everything he writes, allchgo.com. Sign up to become a diehard to get the best of his content. Will, we appreciate you, buddy. We will talk to you on Wednesday when the Bulls are back in action for Bulls Pacers.
Talk to you guys then.
Yes, sir.
The Quaff. Wow. Knock out a couple quick ads and then come back to wrap it up.
Knock them out.
Shall we do it?
Let's do it.
Hit that thumb while you're listening to these ad reads. Shout out to Paradise Lost. Okay. So the guy on the left forgot his shoes. I did not. They are right here. They are called Burks. Burke season is back.
Burke season is back.
It's never gone out of style.
Please tell me.
The wonderful deals and great value bets you can make at Circa Sportsbook.
Amazing.
Circa offers that tight money line split and uses their low hold model, always striving to have those starting out odds at -110, whether it's over-unders, total scores, player props. Unlike a lot of other sports bettors and sports books, who oftentimes you'll find have that starting odds at -115 or -120 for no good reason at all. Not at Circa. Always striving to have -110 be that starting line. Circa also keeps as little money as possible on large market bets. Say, for example, you are sure that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to win the MVP. Put some money on that if you want.
All right.
Well, we know it's not going to be Luka because according to our pal South Garcon, shout out. We're hanging around pregame, haven't seen him in postgame. Luka's overrated.
Yeah, he did stink this.
27 triple-double in 3 quarters, but he's overrated. Anyway, whoever you think is winning NBA MVP right now, if you want to put some money on it, the best place to do that with the best odds is at Circa. Yeah. They also don't limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other sports books who limit their players who are riding those hot streaks. Circa encourages their bettors to download and explore all the other different betting apps that are available because they know that y'all know there are tons of options these days when it comes to where you want to do your sports betting. Right. They are confident that more often than not, you'll find better odds, better value, better gameplay, better user experience than other sports books. They know you will never find better customer service than at Circa. Real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve any issues you might have with their app in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use the dreaded chatbots. All aspects of that Circa app are being run by the same people who run their main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Vegas. We've been there. We've gambled there. We've been helped by their staff there. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10.
Facts.
Would recommend. Download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Be on the lookout also for Circa's events, watch parties, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyourreallywinning.com.
Matt Pack, what time is it?
Give that who?
You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events nearest you with killer last-minute deals. All-in prices used from your seat and the best price guarantee. Game Time. You know what it does? It takes the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts, it is not the place. No. It is the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, hockey, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. And with the zone deals, guess what? You pick the section, Game Time does the selecting for an average savings of, Matt Peck said 18%. Peck on the drums.
18%.
Matt Pert. A Game Time guarantee means you will always get the best price possible. So take the guesswork out of buying those tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
That's CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets always right guaranteed. Trojo, what time is it?
Trojo is aggressive tonight.
Speaking of which, hit
What's
the
up,
like button. 1, 2, 3. Everybody hit it right now. 1, 2, 3. Everybody hit it. Hit
1,
it,
2,
hit
3.
it, hit it now.
1, 2, 3. Everybody hit the like
We're
button.
at 31 right now. Hit it. We should be at 1,000 by the time in 5 seconds.
1,000.
1, 2, 3. Hit it. I like how I pointed at you and then Joey son.
He was
Awesome.
he was
That
ready.
works. He was ready.
You pointed at me. I pointed at him.
You're right. That's how it went. Phew, powers. Phew.
Yeah. Ooh.
I like it.
Goodness.
I like it a lot.
Got Goat's take on the silveriest lining tonight of Phillips and Onuralp Bitim. Both
Yes.
doing some nice things out there, Dave.
yes.
As
Seriously.
our in-house optimist, what did you make of some of those minutes from a couple of the new darlings of the Bulls bench?
Oh, that's exactly what they are. Let's start with your sweet special boy. Julian Phillips is proving that he needs to be on the floor for a long period of time. And it's been the fact that he's doing the Bulls don't have enough guys of his height, of his athleticism that also do the dirty work.
Length.
Yes.
Length.
It's a thing in the NBA. Always crashing the boards is key because he's turning sure offensive, and I've said this about Dalen Terry, he turns sure offensive rebounds for the other team into 50-50 balls. And when you turn that into that, you give your team a chance at it. And I think that's really, really an important skill set to have. Two, he is more and more confident from behind the three-point line, especially at the baseline. As Stacey pointed out, he's shooting over 40% on those baseline threes, man.
Maybe my favorite play of the whole night was when it was in the first half before things were really out of hand. Actually, you know what? They were already out of hand. But he was D'ing up Kyrie one-on-one. And Kyrie was trying to put his crazy fancy Kyrie handles on Julian.
Kyrie handles move?
This is my Kyrie impression. It's my Kyrie impression.
This Kyrie handles move.
The other one being this, because the earth is clearly flat, y'all. But no, he was putting the Kyrie moves on him, right? Julian stayed down. He didn't bite. He didn't bite anywhere and forced Kyrie into a difficult, fall away 18-footer he tried to go off glass and missed horribly. True. And I was like, yes, Julian. Yes, my boy.
Yes.
And then what does he do? He sees his teammate corral the miss on the defensive board and goes tearing down the other way for one of the few transition opportunities the Bulls had all night. Posted himself in that left corner, got the pass, rise and fire, knocked down the three.
He sure did.
That was the best thing that happened to me all night watching this game.
Yeah, and stuff like that, every time I see, I'm like, yeah, he has to get more time. Especially with Patrick Williams not being there, especially with Torrey Craig still trying to get back there. You've got to get a guy like that more time on the floor, man. He's showing you he can do that dirty work and hit your threes and will go dunk on someone and block a shot for you, too.
I mean, and speaking of go dunk on someone, credit to him.
He tried.
He tried to, legit windmill dunk over Daniel Gafford.
Put in effort.
It did not go well for him.
It did not.
Because Daniel Gafford is pretty good at blocking shots.
So I've heard.
Pretty solid rim protector, that Daniel Gafford. And, I mean, he just got absolutely swatted.
Yeah.
But the fact that Julian Phillips had the confidence to be like, I see a little bit of a lane through the paint right now.
Yeah.
I'm going up.
Yeah.
I'm going up.
Yeah. It was disrespectful how he went up too. It wasn't even.
Gafford met him at the rim and was not late.
Yes.
But good for Julian for thinking, hey, I might be able to pull this off right now.
I agree.
That's the confidence that you want to see from a young guy like that.
No, you get no argument out of me. That's absolutely right. And it's growing every time. And the more it grows, the longer Billy will give him the ability to stay out on the floor and continue to impact this team. Now, OB. Led the team in scoring.
Onuralp Bitim was your leading scorer tonight with 17 points off the bench. And 12 of those 17 came in the fourth quarter garbage?
Sure. What I enjoy about him is there's no fear in his game. He wants to go. He will try to go dunk on you too. Like Julian Phillips, he will definitely try. But he doesn't have real fear in his game. Like, the game is always close in his head. Yeah. Even though you clearly are getting their asses blown out, he still was playing like it was a 5-point game.
Yeah, he was.
And I like that.
He got a couple of easy buckets in the fourth quarter when everyone else was like, oh, it's the fourth quarter. He was like, I'm still playing hard.
Right, exactly.
Dude, yes, the Bulls promoted him to a big boy 15-man roster contract, a month or so ago, and it was a multi-year deal. But the Bulls have a lot of exit ramps to get out of that money that is not guaranteed.
Yeah, correct.
So Bitim is playing for his NBA life right now.
And he looks like it. He looks like he's out there. And these were the most open threes I've seen him get. Now, obviously, it was because Dallas was done by then.
Yes.
It was the most open I had seen him, man. But I just like the fact he's fearless. He's slightly athletic.
Only one of 6, but never stopped taking open looks.
Just going to keep pulling them, man. And he has the kind of shot that looks like everything's going in.
Yeah.
So I like those kind of shooters right there. He won't shoot like that, too far often. So just the fearlessness though, the athleticism, the ability to want to defend. It's not like he's a great defender, but he has a desire to get out there and try to defend someone. You can't teach that stuff. I like players who have stuff you really can't teach, man, like a motor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that stuff. That's necessary.
Bless you, Joe.
Bless you. That's necessary things.
Patrick Williams just said, what's that?
Right. Dalen's like, let me show you. Oh, man. Yes, whoever said that, yes, more minutes for the rookies and Dalen Terry. I completely agree. I like Dalen tennis out there tonight as well.
Indeed. And Mike Alley-oop saying, I'm ready for Phillips to start. Enough with Caruso at the 4. Good luck with that.
Yeah, for real.
I don't think you're getting what you want there.
You ain't getting that, bro. Yeah, even if he go there, it's going to be Torrey Craig.
Yeah. I mean, like, biggest Julian Phillips Julian Phillips fan on the planet right now among Bulls fans. Yeah. All I want is more Julian Phillips minutes.
That's it. Give them to me. Give me Bitim. Give me
if Billy
Terry.
is not starting Phillips for the final stretch of game, I'm not faulting Billy for that because that would be insane.
Yeah.
Caruso's one of the most valuable players in the NBA.
Yeah.
Did you see some of the defensive possessions that Caruso had tonight?
Yeah.
Doing everything he could.
I did.
To slow down the Luka, Kyrie wheeling dealing offense.
Yeah. He put in the effort, man. He did his best. I mean, but it's nothing you can do when guys are just cooking. A great shot will beat great defense all the time. Yeah. Like, that's just what it is. And he did it. And he experienced that from both of those guards, So it was a tough night for the Bulls. Again, crumple it up, throw it away, forget about it, go to bed, get some sleep, relax, you know what I mean? Eat your favorite meal, do what you do, hug your kids, hug your wives. And, man, try again against the Pacers, man. That's all you can really do. But you can't take this one with you. Please, leave it right there. It was bad.
Let's leave that one in
Leave
the
it there.
trash.
Leave it in the past, y'all.
Yeah.
In the back. Don't even look at it no more. Just keep driving, y'all. Keep going.
Mike saying, but Tim can play. Too bad it took so long for him to play. Why was that again? Because he was in Windy City.
Billy don't do the guys,
the Bulls were not as desperate injury-wise before he started getting minutes.
Yeah, true.
When they were desperate injury-wise.
Yeah.
Look, this guy comes in, proves he's eager to play hard, knock down threes, take open threes when he's open.
Mm-hmm.
The beating of the drum, I can't believe he wasn't getting minutes before. This because the Bulls had no intention on relying on him when the guys who were supposed to be playing were playing.
I like this thing by Chase and Ashley saying, outside of Kobe, DeMar, and Alex, we have nobody. Bulls need way more star power. Sign someone next year. again, this is why I stated earlier, it is a hugely important offseason for this team, man, because this one they have to pick a direction. It's not a direction of, okay, we'll try it again. Okay, we'll try it again. Okay. You can't say that again.
Yeah.
Like you have to start something over. What type of start over are you doing is my question. That's what it's going to, is it going to be a young guy starting over? You're getting a draft pick. You got some young guys going with Julian, going surrounded with Kobe, Ayo, and let them do it. Or are you going to say, you know what, come on, DeMar, you know what I mean? Run this back again. You know what I mean? Because we're going to go with you. And then you'll have nothing to get. You know what I mean? Is that going to be your start over again? Like, I don't, and the question is, I know what the answer should be, and Matt knows what it should be, and everybody knows what it should be, but we don't know because of what we've seen. We have no idea what they're kind of gonna go with. But I feel like this is why it's so freaking important, man. And signing Patrick Williams, you know what I mean, and all those kind of things. What decisions are you gonna make on that? I'm completely curious, man.
I wish I were curious.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I have the sinking pit in my stomach feeling that I know exactly what they're going to do. Lebowski 5 in the comments just said, dude, they're totally running it back. Yeah, they are. I will be so delightfully, gleefully shocked if we are watching a significantly overhauled Bulls roster next season.
Man, it's going to be...
All signs point to more of this next year. Just a matter of the figures on DeMar, the figures on Pat,
Patrick, yeah,
and then what kind of, tiptoeing and tap dancing they can do on the margins.
That's going to be interesting
to stay under that line.
It's true because Drummond's gone. You know what I mean? Like, he's out of there, bro. Like, we talking about size and getting those. He's gone. It's time for once they get a new contract. This is his last shot at getting a big contract. He's out of here. He's gonna get that check, rightfully so. He's gonna go get that check, man. But yeah, I'm very curious. You know what I mean? I'm just really, really very curious. Zach LaVine, of course. You know what I mean? That trade. What do you get back from that? Like, is it something you can use, or is it a pack of Menthols? I don't know.
Sandwich.
Right, with cheese or no cheese? Who knows?
Pimento.
Pimento.
It's a ham and cheese sandwich, but it's pimento.
Oh, man. It's so many questions, man. So many questions.
So many questions. The good news is that we can save those questions for another time.
It's true.
Because we still have some real basketball to play.
Yes, we do.
Between now and the middle of April.
We do.
17 to go?
17 to go, man.
And
the team.
I mean, I feel like we must make note as we wrap up. The Bulls sometimes are 2 games under 500. The Bulls sometimes are 4 games under 500. But tonight and always, they are 3 games under 500. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun for a second when some of y'all thought they might get to 500 when they played the Clippers on Saturday? Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that so competitive? Gah!
Really? Got to shit on fans for being happy?
No. That wasn't me shitting on fans.
Okay.
I'm sorry if that was the way that was read.
Okay.
Was I teasing a little bit to some fans who were excited about getting back to 500? Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
But the hat throw and 99.999% of the frustration is directed towards this organization.
Got you.
Who looks at maybe getting back to 500 as a hooray thing.
Hooray.
When it should be
Huzzah!
A shame on you thing.
Huzzah.
Huzzah! Thank you for joining us on a Monday night. We appreciate it. Hit the like on your way out if you haven't done it yet. Do it for our friend Troll Joey. He's sweet and innocent. Oh, also, who was it on Twitter? I want to say, was it Gary?
Oh, God. I don't know who it was.
Made an AI image.
What the hell was that?
That was motivated by his idea of a spin-off radio show with Goat and Joey and Troll Joey.
Wait, I didn't see this.
You didn't see this?
Did he not tag you on it? I want to say it was Gary Blackwell on Twitter.
I want to say you're
right. I see it now.
Who's been a ride or die.
Wow.
You see it, Joe?
Now.
It's Gary Blackwell.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
He's a big
shout
fan
out Gary.
Follow him at the Wonder Pigeon.
I follow him. He's wow. I can't believe I missed this.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was my reaction too. Oh wow.
The Twitter page is coming.
I kind of want to see it now.
I kind of want to see it.
I saw that AI graphic, and I was like, ooh.
The Twitter page is coming.
This piques my curiosity.
Yes.
Unlike every time
Regale us with more of
I
your
see
tales.
Red Fred AI of Moses holding his tablets and some Bulls thing, and
Yes,
I'm like,
bring him in.
Fred, stop.
Bring him in.
Fred, you are
him in.
you are a family man. You're a father. I assume you are holding down a steady job of some kind. Why do you have so many AI graphic making minutes in your life? I really don't know. I'm a little worried about him.
I enjoy it. Fred's fine.
If you can vouch for the fact that he's fine, that means
good.
I don't need to talk to him.
You're good. Damn.
I don't need to be making wellness checks on C Red Fred. I love you, buddy, if you're watching.
My God.
Follow Will_Gottlieb, read his stuff, allchgo.com. Big Dave is at BAWL Sports. Our pal and producer, Joey, on the controls is at Joey Spathis. Bulls_Pack is my handle. We are CHGO_Bulls. We are off tomorrow, as are the Bulls, but then we got action throughout the rest of the week.
Got action.
Wednesday, Thursday, back-to-back, starting with Pacers Wednesday. Then we got HQ on deck Friday, and then we got another Bulls game Saturday to round out the week. Speaking of that game Wednesday against the Pacers, we are going to be doing a live watch-along here on our CHGO Sports YouTube channel, presented by our friends at Coors Light, meaning we're going to do a shortened pregame, maybe 15 minutes before tip-off, and then we're just going to hang out here live on YouTube for the entire duration of the Bulls-Pacers game with y'all hanging out, and then we will do post-game as usual on top of that. So we look forward to seeing you there. Joe, any super chats we need to say hello to? real quick
Just
before we get
one.
out?
Bulls lose in the Big Dave voice. That's from David.
Ooh, I don't. Shout out to David. Appreciate the super chat. I don't know if Dave likes that.
Oh, I don't
Can
have
you
a
say
problem
Bulls
with
lose in the Big Dave Bulls win voice?
it. I cannot.
I don't. I
will
know
not
you
pervert
wouldn't.
it in that way, but no, there's no
I
excitement.
don't
for
even
me.
feel like I should do that.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's one of
too
his things.
mean.
He's too happy. He's too happy when these things go down.
3 games under 500.
Look at him.
Always.
Look at this.
Always.
Look at this joy.
March 11th. Let's go. Everybody have a great night. Have a great Tuesday. We will talk to you on Wednesday for our Bulls Pacers watch along. See you, Red. Be good.
Peace.